Good coach.
And I think it's a Saturday night. Good full day of college football today. So, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits live on a Saturday night. Just hanging out.
I watched one game. Iowa versus
Which game did you
Michigan.
watch? Oh yeah. How'd that turn out for you?
Iowa lost, but they didn't get demolished like I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
So, we got some things to talk about tonight. Bulls started this week. Bears play tomorrow. Let's start with Bulls.
All right, let's do it, man.
And if anyone has a topic they want to talk about, just for anyone that decides to join us later, feel free to jump in and let us know whatever you want to talk about. So,
We got one whole person putting their eyeball on us
thanks, Katie.
right now.
Thanks,
Would
Katie.
you like some mixed nuts?
I'm not going there. But all right, so Bulls started training camp this week without Lonzo.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start there, right? It
I
sounds
don't
like
know, The camaraderie looked good already.
yeah, even with the new pieces in place with Dragic and Drummond, it looks like they're really trying to get those guys to fit in.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least like the clips you're seeing, they look like they're excited to be there.
Yeah.
They're having fun. So I mean, that's a positive.
Have you seen any video of Zach, by the way?
I have. He looks like he's got some pep in his bounce.
He looks like a different player.
I mean, that's what they're saying too. Even he said he surprised himself because he's been doing is rehabbing this summer. He hasn't played a whole lot of ball, I guess. But we saw a lot of clips of him like playing
Working out.
ball. So yeah. So, anyways, he says he seems he feels very good. He's got his bounce back. Billy Donovan said the same thing. He's got his bounce back. He looks like the athletic Zach LaVine we needed last year.
Yeah.
So that's positive.
Did you also see that story about how there was a story that came out this week about DeMar, and DeMar said that he was all set to sign with the Lakers, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he saw the reports that they signed Russ, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm not going to Lakers."
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he called Zach to find out, "Hey, are you just staying for are you gone at the end of this year, or are you staying?" And
Yeah.
Zach said, "I'm staying." And I think that's just kind of what set everything kind of in motion.
Yeah, that Zach was staying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were attracted to, I think, Zach's offensive game last year and the signing of Vooch. Those two things made DeMar come to Chicago besides the LA fiasco. What a dumb move by LA.
Yeah, how well did that work out? Do you? I wonder if that was like
Yes.
more of a LeBron thing. Like LeBron's like, I don't want DeMar, like I want Russ. Like he went for the bigger name.
I guess so. I mean, if you looked at it, DeMar, the previous couple of seasons with San Antonio, it wasn't like he looked a little bit different, but I think he was playing his role in the right way with Pop.
You're really going to town on those nuts.
Man, I'm hungry.
All right.
Gotta have some.
I should have brought a slice of pizza with me to the show tonight.
You should have. I'm missing pizza, man.
So, yeah. Well,
So,
look.
Sam Smith.
Okay.
Let's talk about Sam Smith. Sam Smith's mailbag. He talks about a possibility of starting Drummond over Vooch. And he thinks we should start Dragic over Io. So take me through what your thoughts are on, first of all, starting Drummond over Vooch. What do you think about that? That means P Dubs is starting with Drummond.
The only reason I can think of is because obviously Vooch is more offensively talented than Drummond. He's more of a threat offensively. Even though he had a bad year yesterday, he's more of a threat, right? So I
That
guess
you're
you
saying
could,
Vooch had a bad year?
yeah, for his standards, right?
It was still a
Um,
good year,
yeah.
but a bad year for standards. I agree.
Um, so I guess if you wanted, like you've talked about, having more offense on that second team,
Mm-hmm.
I could see maybe that would be an option. But again, Donovan doesn't exactly rotate or substitute like a whole set of five.
No, he doesn't.
You
He
know,
usually keeps DeMar out there and Zach at
and then
separate
like
times,
right,
and then they
well,
bring them back together. Yeah.
correct. So like DeMar will stay in longer, Zach will come out first, and then second quarter Zach will check in for DeMar,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then DeMar might either sub for him or they both are back in the game for the rest of the half. So it's not like you're going to have one of those two guys on the floors at all times, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Williams is obviously going to be an option somewhere, and so is Vooch,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, look, with the first team, if you have Vooch start, you immediately have four options right away,
You do.
right? It's just a matter of how you're going to make that work, or but I don't think, like, some teams I think that would be a problem, but I think for the Bulls, like, they all seem to be on the same page. Like, they don't seem to really care. Like, I don't even get that idea from Zach. Like, they don't seem to really care, like, who's scoring the points as long as they're winning.
That was one thing that really impressed me last year about Zach. He didn't seem to care that. I mean, maybe one game he seemed to care, but he honestly didn't seem to care that DeMar was getting the limelight.
Look, I think if DeMar misses some of those buzzer beaters, right, or if he doesn't have some
Yeah.
of these hot fourth quarters, I think it might have been a little bit different story,
Yep.
right? But there was some of those fourth quarter takeovers, right, where he was just unreal.
Yeah. I mean, who
Right?
wouldn't give him the ball? Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody who's a smart basketball player would have a problem with that guy taking that last shot. So, I actually think it's not a bad idea. If you take Vooch and put him on the second team, I know I've talked about Patrick Williams being on the second team, but if Patrick Williams is a starting, Vooch is in that second lineup, Patrick Williams becomes the third scorer, this third scoring option.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that does work. And then you have running the ball through Vooch on that second unit. I still think Io should start. And Dragic, I mean, imagine Dragic, Vooch, Javante, DJJ, and then I'm missing somebody. Kobe. That's not bad as a second unit.
Oh,
I
again,
mean, I haven't even brought up Caruso. I totally
yeah,
kicked Caruso off the team.
you put Kobe ahead of Caruso.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. I just think that, again, it's going to come down to really who finishes more than who starts.
I agree.
Right. And I think it's going to be a work in progress, right? I mean, look, and hopefully the problem is that they're playing really well, and then Lonzo comes back. Then you really have to figure out a rotation.
What do you think about that latest report about after his scope? I mean, that he's going to be ready probably by December now.
Even if I think it's all on Lonzo, right? If Lonzo feels like it's not like this is his first time having a knee issue, right? He had a knee issue when he had a knee issue when he was with the Lakers. He had a knee problem when he was with New Orleans.
How about with UCLA? Did he have a problem with his knee in UCLA?
I don't think he was there long enough, to be honest.
No, that's true.
So, I don't know. I think if Lonzo thinks he's going to be okay by December, sure, let him play.
Hey, shout out to all the people watching right now.
This is a little bit late for our normal crowd.
I guess.
Crowley's at a Hawks game.
Yep.
Right? Everyone else, it's Saturday night, so everyone, unlike us, we're home. Everyone else is probably out tonight. But I'm looking at here on Twitter and YouTube. It says two viewers. So whoever those two people are, thanks for
Well, thank you.
hanging out.
Big
We
heart.
appreciate it. And then, you know what? There's probably people still checking us out on Facebook. Also, they're just not chiming in. So
That's right, and they should. They
yeah,
should give us a like.
hit a like,
They should make a comment saying
help some brothers out.
Vic's hair is styling.
Did you get a haircut?
I didn't.
Oh,
I'm trying
you
to
look
look
like
I'm trying to look like Jimmy Neutron. Do you ever watch that show, Jimmy Neutron?
yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it with my kids.
What's your favorite cartoon ever in your whole life? What would
That's
it
a
be?
great question. Battle of the Planets.
Battle of the Planets.
Katie for the save.
God, why is she the only one watching this? Thank you.
We might as well just be hanging out at your place right now, just between the.
I didn't tell her I almost sawed off my finger downstairs.
Oh, let's hear this story. I want to hear this story.
Doing the baseboards.
Which finger did you almost?
My pinky. It's useless.
I'm going to save another comment for after the show.
What?
What?
You didn't even hear me scream.
That's the best finger. Can't lose that one.
Was that for your addiction?
Yeah. So what was your favorite cartoon?
I used to love was it DC Superheroes?
Super Friends.
Super Friends. Love Super Friends.
With Zach and Jana.
Yeah,
The Wonder Twins.
Yes, Wonder Twin powers activate. I will become a puddle of water. You will become
idiot.
a bucket. You are a bucket head, Carl.
I went from being a pumpkin to a bucket head.
That's right, man.
Earlier,
So Lonzo Ball is going to come back and be a Wonder Twin power with Zach, DeMar, P-Dubs, and Drummond.
Okay.
I would love to see Vooch come off the bench. I love that idea. I do not like the idea of Dragic starting, though. I would prefer Dragic coming off the bench. This is a great opportunity for Io to get more experience. And Dragic would be okay coming off the bench. I don't think he would have a difficult time or like an ego about it. What do you think?
I think Dragic starts.
You want him to start?
No.
Or do you
I think he's
going to, yeah?
I think he's going to end up starting. I think it should be Io, but I think I think Dragic is going to end up starting.
Well, either way, I think Io is going to get some more play than he did last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to get some big time minutes. Again, the question then is going to become
welcome to the big show.
When Lonzo comes back, someone's going to be an odd man out.
Well, I don't know who it is. I have no idea.
Kobe's going to be one of those guys for sure.
I wonder if they trade Kobe.
Do you think Antetokounmpo makes the roster?
I don't see why he doesn't. I see Dalen Terry going to the G League.
But they don't play the same position.
Does it really matter?
Well, if you're short on guards right now, don't you want that extra insurance policy just in case?
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, the Bulls could obviously they've got Io, they got Dragic, they've run Zach dribbling up the ball, they've run Alex Cruz running the ball up the floor, so I don't think they'd be hurting. I would rather actually have Carly Jones on the Bulls team than Dalen Terry until Dalen Terry gets more playing time in the G League, I think Carly Jones actually would be better for us right now, based on what I saw.
Can't disagree with you there.
So let's talk. Let's talk about Bears.
Okay.
Are you excited about the game tomorrow?
I am.
What are you going to do for the game tomorrow? What time are you going to go pump some weights? I'm Hans. He's Franz. We are here to pump you up.
Are you done?
No. So, where are you going to watch the Bears game from? Out there in the world, where are you going to watch the Bears game from? That whole fan.
Well, if I'm going to work out tomorrow, maybe I'll go to Mickey Finn's and watch the game.
Mickey Finn's?
Half price pizza tomorrow.
That sounds good.
I could also go to
Maybe
Chasers.
Katie and I'll have to join you. I have to wash the basement floor and get all the disgusting antibacterial smell off the floor.
Katie's always welcome to join.
More so than I am. I know.
Correct.
I understand that. Okay, so where's your favorite place to watch a Bears game out there? And what do you think the score of the Bears game is going to be tomorrow?
31-17.
You're just hoping that score is going to.
Well, it's got to hit some point. 31-17. The
What?
Bears are going to win 31-17.
Okay. It sounds like nasty weather out. I'm thinking.
You're welcome, Katie.
You cheered her up.
Katie, I might even have to run out as soon as we're done with this. I might have to run out to Sprinkle or what is it to Crumble and get some cookies for you for tomorrow.
You know what
Before
sounds
they
really
close.
good? McDonald's fries sounds amazing right now.
There's McDonald's right down the street from you.
It is, and I'm just saying it sounds amazing right now. All right, so the Bears, I think, are going to win. Let's see, 17-14.
I think it's gonna be they're going to score more points than that.
All right, I don't think so.
I don't
think,
even-
between the two running games, I think they're going to be like eating up the clock. And if the weather's bad, I think it's going to be hard to score.
Well, we scored 20 points in that monsoon.
It's true, but I just don't see it.
Katie, are they winning or losing? 14-24.
Watch, she gets this right.
Of course, Katie's going to get it right.
Is it Bears, Katie, or is it Giants?
Let her type. Give her a second.
Okay.
So, what do you think? Who do you think is going to have a big game tomorrow for the Bears?
Herbert.
I'll
Kind of
go-
like Hubert. Oh man. We just asked, Katie. We just said Giants or Bears. Oh. Okay,
Sorry,
so
Katie.
I don't know how other people feel about their significant others not understanding football, not caring about sports. How do you deal with this? Carl.
We
How
don't
do you
talk
do
about it. We don't talk about it. She doesn't watch a podcast. We don't talk sports.
Has she ever
At
watched
all.
our podcast?
She complained to me. She's got one of those streaming devices and she watches YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
And she said, how on earth did this end up on my recommended channels page on my YouTube?
Well, I
I don't
hope
know.
you were like putting it on while you were there. Did you do
I
that?
don't know. Yeah, I'm liking every video that we put out there and I'm watching every single one I can.
Well, that's so
But
kind of you,
she
sir.
skips right over it.
All right, so I think Khalil Herbert's going to have a good game. In terms of Throwing? Jeez. I don't even want to talk about throwing. I am now aligned with Carl Shang. Run the ball.
Run the
Run the
damn ball 40
ball.
times.
50.
40 times tomorrow.
Let's have 300 yards rushing.
Khalil Herbert's going to go for another. He's going to go for another 100. Whoever's got Khalil Herbert in fantasy. Who's got it in our league? Who's got Khalil Herbert? Whoever that person is.
Yeah. I did look it up, but I don't remember who.
They won't do it.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither do I. You need to.
I think, you know what? She's got prego brain, so please forgive her.
Be nice to Katie.
For some of her comments.
Be nice to Katie. She's got like
they won't
5-6 weeks left.
They won't do what?
Just be nice to her.
This is kind of entertaining. Oh, throw. Okay. They will try and throw the ball. I run. They're gonna. If they can run for 300 yards, the Bears will win, and it'll be 24-14 then.
I'm just waiting for one of these episodes where a shoe comes flying at your head, from off camera.
We're on separate floors right now, so that's.
I'm just telling you, just one of these days, the shoe's gonna come flying at you from off camera.
All right. Well, I would prefer like a slipper. Or a flip flop. A flip flop. Just go. All right. So who do you think is gonna have like a great game tomorrow?
Justin Fields.
Run the ball. But Justin Fields.
They're gonna run the ball, and Justin Fields is gonna have a good game.
You know, we literally just talked about this. Like, what broadcaster actually does the opposite? Just to like, throw a wrench.
Sam Smith.
Oh, well, you said Jason Mariotti.
Jay Mariotti.
Jay Mariotti. I will also throw out there Carl Shang. I finally agree with this bozo and say run the ball. And he says the person that's going to have the best game
is Justin Fields.
QB1.
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Balanced game tomorrow. We'll run for 200 yards, and Justin Fields will have over 200 yards pet throwing tomorrow.
Okay. If
Moody's going to catch like 6 passes tomorrow.
All right. Okay, so this is the deal. We're making a bet. If Justin Fields throws 200 yards, I am buying pizza next time we go out. And then if he throws under 200, you are buying pizza next time.
So you're buying pizza for all the listeners that'll meet up. All of the hundreds and thousands of listeners we have will show up. Crowley, if you're listening.
Katie. Katie.
Well, Katie
can't eat pizza, man. Her blood sugar levels go like through the roof.
Well,
all right.
Find something for Katie.
Crocs are ugly, by the way.
Well, they're perfect to throw at your head, though.
That's true.
Katie, I'm gonna.
Carl's my official accountability partner. I don't know.
Katie, I'm gonna go ahead and run out to Crumble as soon as we're done here. So any requests, let me know because I'm gonna run out Crumble for you tonight. As soon as we're done.
All right. So you talked about the defensive line of the Bears having like a solid game.
Take it back. I'm telling you, that Croc's gonna come flying at your head any second now.
I'm having some cashews instead. I'm not worried.
You have a death wish. All right, so defensive line. What were you saying?
You said the defensive line's going to have a good game against the Bears. I mean, against the Giants.
Yeah, I think so. Daniel Jones.
So who do you think?
One of the most sacks quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Dominique Robinson.
And he fumbles the ball quite a bit too. I think he's got 4 fumbles.
I think Dominique Robinson and Roquan are both going to have good games tomorrow. And I'll even say
I think
Brisker's going to have a good game tomorrow.
Either Brisker or Robinson is going to have a pick. I know you said that when we look, Daniel Jones does not have a pick yet.
He does not. I don't think he does. I think I looked that up.
But I think he has 4 fumbles and 3 lost fumbles. I'm pretty sure.
I'll take 1 lost fumble tomorrow in the end.
And all right, so I'm gonna pick up his first pick of the year. What do you think Barkley does? Do you think we contain the run? Do you think we
Oh,
force the Giants to throw the ball?
I think
Just like,
I think Barkley's going to have. I don't know if he'll have 100 yards, but I think he'll be close. He'll probably be like 80, 90 yards tomorrow.
I'm going to say Barkley has 140 yards.
The only reason I say that is because I think our linebackers and secondary are fast enough to keep up with them.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad point either because Roquan is the lead leaguer in tackles. He looked much quicker last game. And the Giants' offensive line isn't very good. But you know what? Then again, I mean, they're very similar to the Bears. They're not very good in terms they give up sacks, but with Barkley running, they're like third or fourth in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thanks for checking on Facebook.
I don't know. It's kind of inconsistent. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Well, look, we're only 3 games in, right?
I know. We're 2-1.
Correct. And I keep trying to
We
drill that
should
into your head.
Really? All right. Drill it more into my head. I'm listening.
All you complain is like we can't win not throwing the ball. We can't win not throwing the ball. We're 2-1.
So I finally switched over to you and said, yes, we should run the ball because the Bears can't pass the ball.
And then what do I
And
say?
now you say
Justin Fields is going to have a great game tomorrow.
He's going to have a great game. Man,
if it makes you better, make you feel better, I'll pay for cheese sticks tomorrow. Will that make you feel better if I pay for cheese sticks tomorrow?
Yes. Hey, Storm, man. Great to see you. Great to hear from you, man.
Okay, Storm.
So
2-1, you still win 2 games. It doesn't matter how, at the end of the day, how you play. You still won the game.
Oh man, you're almost stuttering all over the place right there, buddy. But hey, we looked last year at the Bears starting record. Carl will say they were 3-3, but they started off 3-2. They were the worst 3-2 team out there in the NFL. And if they win and they're 3-1, they will be one of the worst 3-1 teams out there. Along with the Denver Broncos. Yes.
Well, let's see. Let me look at this right now. So,
and also the Giants. I mean, if the Giants win, they're up there too.
So the Cardinals, the Niners. Let's see, Cardinals, Niners, the Chargers.
Wait, is Storm? I'm going to post this.
The Titans.
They win 9 games and sneak into playoffs. They will get at. Oh, yes. I agree, Storm.
We got to get there first.
And that is the spirit.
Right?
They win 9 games. I still think they only win 8 games. Carl's 9.
Look, I'll say it again, right?
I'll say it again.
Nothing replaces.
No new taxes.
Nothing replaces the fact that you learn how to win games, right? If nothing else, this young team, whether you like the way we're playing or not, they figure out a way to win these close games.
I agree with you, Storm. Right? I think it's 8.
I had them at 9, but I mean, everyone thought we were going to be 0-3 at this point.
We did not.
We did not. I had them at 2-1 right now.
I did too.
You know, and I think I had them. I picked the Giants. A win over the Giants also tomorrow. So I think I still had them at 3-1.
I did too.
But
I think it gets harder after that. But you know what? After that game against the 49ers, I thought they had a chance against the Packers, and then they put up a goose egg.
Well, look,
that was embarrassing.
Well, look, had they scored the 1 touchdown, had they gotten the 1 call, the outcome might have been a little bit closer. It would have been a different game because they would have been in 1 possession.
That is true. If that football had been,
if he goes right instead of left, he's in the end
zone. If it had been clear on the video, they would have had a touchdown.
Yeah,
it was not clear.
Yeah, had he gone right where the hole was, he would have scored, but he went the wrong direction. So
That's true. What do you think about Santos not playing? I mean, it's questionable, but he
I just
didn't
hope the
fly.
game doesn't. I hope
Yeah,
the
he
game
didn't
doesn't come
fly
down to
into the
field goal tomorrow.
Giants.
Look, it's going to affect the play calling tomorrow for sure, right?
So Michael Badgley, looking at his career, he's 70 for 87 in field goals. He's
Here's
21. He's 21 of 21 from 20 yards to 29. He's 19 of 20 from 30 to 39. He is 27 of 36 from 40 to 49, and he's only 3 of 10 over 50 plus.
Yeah, look, it's going to affect the play calling tomorrow, right? Because like, look, if you're let's say
Mm-hmm.
less than third from 5 from like the 35-yard line,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably going for it.
Yeah, I would think so too. You know what? And honestly, who wouldn't be excited about that as a quarterback? That's awful. 70 of 89.
Well, look, Storm, there's a reason why he's not. That's why he's not a place kicker for a regular team. That's why he was on the street.
That's right. He's 70 of 87, but
And here's the thing: they worked out 3 kickers, and he was the best of the 3. So I don't know. I was a little surprised that Rodrigo Blankenship was out there. I was surprised they didn't sign him. And he was with the Colts last year, where Eberflus was. So I was a little surprised they didn't try to go
they
after
should
that guy.
they should have went after Morton Anderson. How old is that guy? Or Jankowski, Sebastian Jankowski. Bring him back.
Yeah, that guy's got to
That
be
guy,
like older than us, right?
Jankowski. I bet Sebastian Jankowski might be able to kick better than Michael Badgley.
Badgley.
Storm is saying your Blankenship thing.
Well,
is
look, he
terrible.
must not be that good because he got cut by the Colts, right? Look, he's got to be better than 70 for 89.
I know. Who's the guy from State Farm? Jake?
Jake?
Yeah.
You want Jake to kick for
the
us?
guy should be selling life insurance. Yeah, Jake from State Farm.
Maybe Jake should be kicking for us tomorrow.
What's up, DR man?
We were just talking about that.
Guys feeling about. I think they're the worst 2-1 team, followed by Broncos and the Giants.
So let me ask you this question: would you rather have the Bears at 2-1 right now in their record, or would you rather be the Cardinals at 1-2?
As a fan or as a player?
So, for example, the Cardinals are 1-2, and they've only scored 62 points with Kyler Murray as their quarterback, right? We are 2-1. We've only scored 52 points, but we're tied for first in our division.
I take the Cardinals.
Just because of their quarterback?
Yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals. How confident I am of the Bears 2-1? I'm not confident. I like our running. Yeah, you're nuts, man. Carl literally thinks he's confident. He was confident about the Sox. He was confident about Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball's going to be back.
Carl wears rose-colored glasses every time we talk about a Chicago team.
Did you see what DR says here? He's not wrong.
Okay. I will be happy about the Bears in about 2 years. I think they have 2 years of cleaning up this roster and getting I told Carl. What the hell does that mean? Lonzo might be done, but the news coming out of the scope was his knee's healthy and he should be able to return in December. But we heard that once. We heard that once already.
Yeah, we'll see in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I was nervous about Lonzo, but
so
I am not confident about the Bears.
Here's the thing,
they have a lot of players. They need a deeper team. They need some. They need a deep draft again. I mean, they need like 15 picks on the draft again, man.
Okay, so
One more big draft.
with the next 3 games on the schedule, right?
Hmm.
Being the Giants tomorrow, then we get the Vikings next week, and then we get the Commanders on Thursday night, right?
Uh-huh.
So within the next 12 days, right? We could
12 days.
be we could be 5-1.
It's very possible. Yep.
So even if Fields is terrible and we scrape out these wins,
It's good experience for this team, regardless. Even if they're a bad 5-1 team, it's really good experience for this team. They if they become 5-1, I mean, they may easily make the wild card. And that's good. I mean, that's good experience for a young team. I mean, that's going to be good under their belt buckle. And if they have some good free agent signings and a good draft, they're going to be much more competitive next year. But I really think in 2 years is when the Bears are going to be dominant. That's
so
that's my prediction.
so like if you win the next 3 games, you roll through the next 3 games, you get to 5-1, right?
Oh,
Um,
I would
that
like to
means
talk about. I would like to talk about this.
then over the last 11 games, you could finish 4 and
So,
7 and still make the playoffs.
I know.
Go ahead. I'll let you speak on this.
Okay. It is not like Madden. So, Dr. Do you literally think? Okay, what do you think about your Packers team? I mean, they barely squeaked by against Tampa Bay, but that's still a great win against Tom Brady. I think because I think Tom Brady is better than Aaron Rodgers. Grating that cheese, but the Bears can't grate that cheese, and they have not been able to grate that cheese for eons
And then I'm going to get the
and
Storms comment, and
eons.
I'm going to get the Storms comment in a second.
He is Storm is absolutely correct, man. So go ahead, post that. So go ahead, talk about that, man. What do you think?
I'll just say Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts 2 years ago, everyone thought he was a bust, and he thought it was terrible. People thought he was terrible last year. But because the organization believed in him, they went out and got him an elite receiver.
Yes, okay, I get you.
They,
I,
they,
w- I
they
was
last year
wondering where the other game.
they drafted Devonta Smith, and then they got AJ Brown, and they surrounded him with wide receiver. But look, it took time to get to that point. But once he got the weapons, and he gained from that experience of playing through with some bad teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's 3-0 right now, right? And he's leading the league, I think, in QBR, I think, something like that. Like he's one of the top quarterbacks right now in the league, and he's MVP
Okay.
candidate early
Carl,
on.
do you think our gamble of trying to go for middle of the line receivers and going for like Brisker, Gordon in the draft, do you think it's backfired on us? Or
No,
do you think that was still the way to go? Or would you have
they,
done something differently in hindsight?
the only way you were going to get one of those top line receivers is if you traded up, right? Um, I haven't been paying that close of attention, right? I mean, the one guy I wanted in the preseason was Olave, right? And he went to the Saints, and he's starting to show up now, right? He's starting to have a pretty good season right now. But if you look at all the receivers that were drafted after Brisker and Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of those receivers have stood out.
We'd have to look. That's a great point. I'm gonna look
You
it
know,
up,
like
man.
I don't think any of those receivers that they drafted after Gordon and Brisker have stood out. And I don't know if any of these free agent wide receiver signings, other than AJ Brown was a trade, but any of these other free agent wide, I mean, like, look, even Allen Robinson's struggling in LA,
Yeah, Allen Robinson. You know what? I'm so disappointed in that guy.
right?
That guy just is giving up.
Um, But
Christian Olave.
I don't think any of these, you know, wide receivers. Look, I like the plan that and when most people don't agree with it, right? But I like the route that Poles is taking.
I
I
think we were
think
disappointed.
who?
I think most fans were disappointed that they didn't put like weapons around Justin Fields, especially when uh the Bears chose him.
But
It's
my
such
but
a it's
look,
such a high draft pick, man. I
right? But
mean,
you and I talked about this. Is that look?
it's just tough. It's tough to have to pick a quarterback in so high and then not put anything around him for him to be successful. I mean, they're literally could be damaging him by not having good receivers around him or a good offensive line. I mean, they kind of lucked out a little bit with some of their offensive line picks.
Look, I think
So
the offensive line is better than we think because
it
no one
is
thought
no,
we were going to run the ball like the way
it
we are
is
right now.
no, it
And
is. It is. I agree with you, but like, I mean, I think that was a huge gamble.
okay, here's the question: like, who were you going to get?
I don't know. I'd have to look back. I was looking at the
Like I hear
2022
everyone say that
NFL draft, man.
like everyone's saying that we let him down, like we didn't draft. Look, the polls seem to
But
do a pretty good
they
job with the offensive
they
line.
literally they had the money, man. They have the money to go out in free agency. They could have got a wide
Who
receiver off
again?
the free
Who were
agent
you going
market.
to sign?
Odell Beckham.
He's not. He can't even play right now.
Yeah, he's ready. He's suiting up. He's Superman, man.
He's injured.
I'm making stuff up right now.
But I mean, like that's the point, right? Who on earth were you
There,
going to
there were
sign?
there were other free agents that were available, and we didn't go after them. That's
And
it.
which of those free agents are standing out right now?
I don't know. We'd have
None.
to look. I don't know if that's true. Do you remember exactly who was picked up?
I can tell you that probably the top 15 receivers were with their previous team.
All
They
right,
weren't free agents.
I'm looking at the NFL draft right now. All right, Drake London, Atlanta Falcons, number 8. I mean, that was really early though. He's having a great year. Garrett Wilson from the Jets. You said Chris Olave, Jameson Williams. I think he's hurt. Jahan Dotson,
Jahan
Traylon
Dotson had one
Burks.
good game, and he's kind of fallen off a little bit.
I'm just naming names, man. I'm not making opinions right now. So those were all the guys that were picked before the Bears had a selection. And then round 2, AT&T's being nice to me right now. Christian Watson for the Packers.
Was he drafted ahead or after our guys?
He was drafted ahead, and then we picked. You know what? To me, what's surprising, Kyler Gordon was picked 39th
Okay.
for the Bears. And actually, I think Jaquan Brisker is better right now, at least in the short term.
That's misleading.
Why? How?
Because the guy playing opposite is Jalen Johnson, who's allowed basically 0 catches. They're not throwing in his direction. They're going to keep throwing at the rookie.
All right. So one guy I think the Bears missed out on was George Pickens.
Okay.
That would be I mean, honestly, that'd be the only guy that I can think of right now. I'm looking
And
at
who's his quarterback?
Oh God, you're a terrible quarterback who they already want to bench.
Trubisky.
Yeah, exactly. They want to bench him already. Wandale Robinson, John Mechie the third. I mean, these are guys that were picked up after Kyle Gordon. Tyquan Thornton for the Patriots. Pickens is the only guy that I can think of. Alice Pierce for Cincinnati. Sky Moore.
None of those guys are playing.
No, they're not.
So again, my question
George
is,
Pickens.
okay.
That's what I tell you. You wanted a guy, I'm going to say George Pickens. We should have picked him up.
But you said they picked him up before we drafted.
No. Hold on. I don't think so. George Pickens actually was after Kyle Gordon, I believe. Kyler Gordon was the 39th pick. Pickens was the 52nd pick.
Okay.
We passed on Pickens for Brisker and Kyler Gordon.
But so did so many other teams.
I would have picked George Pickens before I picked one of those two defensive players.
Okay, but are you going to seriously tell me that Pickens is going to be that much of a difference maker as opposed to Gordon and Brisker?
It's possible. Oh no, not necessarily Gordon from what I've seen so far.
Okay, but
I think Brisker is the guy that's like showing more right now,
but our defense is pretty good, you wouldn't you say?
yeah, I would agree with you.
Okay, so
It's
look,
just like I just didn't like the gamble. That's all I'm saying.
oh look again, my point in all this is who were you going to get either through the draft or free agency at a
All right,
wide receiver position,
I will look at free agency, man.
right? To draft. Now, look, I'm going to go back to what you asked Dr. Right, and Dr. was saying that
Yeah, what did you say?
he was telling me confident because of Bakhtiari. Look, if
He's
those
confident?
if those two guys didn't come back, Rodgers isn't upright. He's absolutely right.
Okay.
He's absolutely correct. If those two guys, especially like Bakhtiari, looked really good last week,
Mm-hmm.
even if I think it was a limited time. But Elton Jenkins killed us the game he came back. We couldn't get past that guy.
Okay. Let's see. McKenzie signed. Oh, he resigned. I'm looking at guys, wide receivers. Tavon Austin. You weren't picking him up. That wouldn't be a good signing for the Bears.
So again, this is what Paul said. Like, I'm not going to overpay for a wide receiver. If he's not going to be, if just for the sake of signing a wide receiver.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But so some people made trades too to be able to get a receiver, like Devontae Parker, quite a trade with the Dolphins.
Yeah, but like, who were we going to trade and who are we going to give up?
I don't know, man.
I
don't know on that. I don't know on that one. I'm just talking. I'm looking at free agencies from the summer.
Look,
let's see who else is there.
They
needed so many people. That's the hard part. So like, I think they even need a whole another year of drafting and a few decent pickups, and they will be like a 10-7 team next year.
So look, okay,
that's what I'm thinking.
I'll say this, right? He knew we had a pretty good defense. He drafted a couple pieces to that. Gordon is still a work in progress. Brisker looks like he's the real deal, right? But your defense still right now is your defense right now. Well, Christian Kirk, I don't even think he's playing. I think he's hurt.
I'm just saying he would have been a good guy to go after.
Well, look, you've strengthened your defense, yes, right? So you don't have to worry about adding a whole lot of pieces. Juju was a trade.
Jujubees. He signed a 1-year deal.
Okay. If you
Marquez
have a 1 year
Valdez-Scantling.
Okay, if you guys have a 1-year deal to sign with the Bears or to sign with Kansas City and play with Patrick Mahomes, who you signing with?
We should have traded for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, and he's having a terrible year.
Right? Michael Gallup. He resigned now.
I didn't see Storm. I don't know. I thought Kirk was hurt.
You're a poet and didn't know it.
Let me see.
But we got N'Keal Harry, man. And Byron Pringle. And Aquaman. Who actually is having a pretty good year. And Dante Pettis.
Well, we got.
What about DJ Chark? We should have went after DJ Chark.
Now you're just throwing out names.
No, I'm not. I am not.
Yeah, Christian Kirk is top 10 receiver in the league. So yeah, Christian Kirk would have been.
I'm looking at DJ Moore was another guy we thought about. We had talked about him at one point in during the off season. Jarvis Landry. There were some guys, man. Russell Gage.
I'm not saying that there weren't guys out there. What I'm saying is, who were you going
Me,
to overpay?
me and Julio down by the schoolyard. A 1-year, $6 million deal. That's not bad.
He got
I mean,
recruited by Tom Brady to go down there,
okay. Well,
right?
I'm glad they didn't go after A-Rob though.
See, DR's on board with the
With what?
just run the ball.
I totally agree. The Bears have shown me nothing in the passing game anymore. As much as I want a balanced attack where the defense isn't going to just have like 8 men up front, screw it. Run the ball.
Justin Fields is your player of the game tomorrow.
He is not, man. If he is, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be happy about it. And your run the ball thing can,
Another bucket for my friend here at the table. Whatever he wants, I'm buying because Justin Fields was not the player of the game. So,
all right, folks.
well, everyone, thanks for tuning in for the Saturday night. I know it's a little bit late for most of us, but thanks for checking in with us today. We'll do a post game tomorrow after the game. Tomorrow, I don't know if it'll be from remote or whatever the case is, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Bears and Giants tomorrow at Giant Stadium at noon.
We should do it live.
For those of you who are fantasy football
live,
players,
damn it.
yeah, fantasy football players, there's
Do it
an early game
live.
tomorrow, so don't forget to set your lineup. So, see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Love
And digits.